and still feel heat.
Right.
But I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but there's another show that's coming out next year that's going to be
big money.
Big money. Big money. Bigger than Olympia.
Okay.
The first thing that we can talk about, obviously, as you have already seen the video, is really news. It's breaking news. So, in 2020, next year, we're gonna have new show. Very, very big show. And it's gonna be bigger than Mr. Olympia. And what is the thing that separates Mr. Olympia from all other shows? Well, yeah, the tradition is there, but why did it become the best show in the world? Because it pays more, obviously, because the prize money is the biggest. It's $400,000 currently. And this show is gonna be bigger. It's gonna be bigger than Mr. Olympia, money-wise. Of course, it's a new show. It's not gonna have as big of a title as Mr. Olympia has because of the tradition. For more than 50 years now, the winner of the Mr. Olympia was considered the greatest bodybuilder in the world in that year. The Mr. Olympia would be the world's bodybuilding champion. And now this new competition is coming, so it's gonna be bigger than Mr. Olympia. And maybe some bodybuilders are not that interested in the title. Maybe they are actually doing this a bit more for money. So maybe some of them are gonna try to compete there rather than do the Mr. Olympia. Maybe that's gonna be happening more and more, and maybe this show will actually overcome Mr. Olympia and become the biggest show in the world. And the prize money is gonna be close to $1 million. $1 million. And the same prize money goes for women as well. So this is some serious stuff, and everybody was complaining how bodybuilders are not paid well enough. And now things are changing, and I'm really happy because of that. So let me play you another video of this same podcast. By the way, this is a podcast of Mike Rashid, and of course you're listening to Dexter Jackson and Jay Cutler. And so let me play this video for you.
But I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but there's another show that's coming out next year that's going to be
big money.
Big money. Big money. Bigger than Olympia.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So.
I want y'all to get.
I definitely stick around to do that.
I would love for first place to win $1 million. Why not? It's the money's there.
It's getting close. It's coming, especially in this show.
I would love for that to happen. You know, I feel like when the stakes is higher, people go harder. And I want to be at the Olympia blown away. I don't want to be looking at somebody that I could probably.
Well, you know what? I think having a show here is gonna make everybody the Arnold. They're gonna have to step the game up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because this show coming in first year, knocking the Arnold already back now. So it's gonna be.
Okay.
I mean,
well, are they paying, is it more than the Olympia?
More than Olympia.
And it's not the Olympia.
The women is getting the same as us.
Can you give us any more? What is it? Who is it? I'm not, is it Dexter Jackson?
I don't know if we should say anything. I'm not getting Jay. What you think? Who is it, Jay?
Do you know Jay?
I know, but I don't know if it's been announced yet.
No, it hasn't been announced.
Okay.
So we better keep it cool.
This is perfect opportunity.
No.
So there you go, guys. You can say straight from the horse's mouth. You hear this from Jay Cutler, one of the biggest bodybuilding promoters in the world, and also Dexter Jackson, who is pretty much doing the same thing and who is also still competing and who is considered definitely one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, considering how much he accomplished. So these people have all the integrity in the world. So it's definitely not fake news. They are not lying to us. New show is coming. It's gonna be bigger than Mr. Olympia, money-wise, and maybe if it stays there for some time and if Mr. Olympia can't match the prize money or even offer bigger prize money, many bodybuilders are probably gonna focus their efforts more towards that new show than to Mr. Olympia. But I'm sure Mr. Olympia will have to, up their money prize, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. If this show actually happens, and I believe it will, it's gonna push bodybuilding, overall bodybuilding, to increase the money price. And I think bodybuilders definitely do deserve that. I mean, this is the hardest sport in the world. Hands down. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased, because I'm doing bodybuilding and because I'm into it. It really is. You're doing it 24/7. You're sacrificing so much. It's the hardest sport in the world. And considering how big effort you must put in and how much you need to sacrifice, it's really paying so little. And this is really a great thing for bodybuilding because many people are actually giving up on bodybuilding because they just see that you can't really earn money, you need to sacrifice all these things, and you basically throw your life away for it. And the chances of you actually becoming somebody and actually earning money are very little. So many people are actually giving up because of that. And if the money price gets so much increased, as you heard, Dexter says close to $1 million, that's really gonna help bodybuilding. And who is making this show? We can only assume, we have no idea. To me, it seems like it's gonna be something about Dexter. I'm sure Dexter's gonna be a promoter or something like that. Basically, he knows the details. Apparently, Jay Cutler does too, so maybe they're gonna be involved in it. Maybe it's gonna be somebody from Kuwait, because Badr Budai, for example, has a lot of money. He can do something like this. But it's left for us to see. We don't need to speculate. We're gonna see what happens next year. And I'm telling you, 220 is gonna be the year of bodybuilding. It's gonna be a great year for bodybuilding, considering how many things are gonna happen. Compared to this year, 220 is gonna be something special. But hold on, let's stay in 2019 for a little while longer. And here you can see Sean Roden with his most recent physique update, and he uploaded this 30 minutes ago. Actually, I saw it like 2 minutes after he uploaded it. I actually started making this video when I saw this photo, so perfect, another great news. And as you can see, he looks, I'd say on track. He's vascular, but I'd say he looks a little bit smaller than before, probably. I think the stress is affecting him. His chest seems a little bit too shallow, at least in this shot. I mean, he's not known for having the best chest, but here it does look a little bit too small. Now you can see his back from behind and his overall mass versus conditioning, and I say he looks fine. But you know, the big question is, are they gonna let him compete? And most likely it's not gonna happen. He is probably not gonna be there, but if he was, and if this incident didn't even happen, or if they just don't consider it as a factor. And guys, I like to believe that politics have nothing to do with judges' decision, but I don't know if that's really the case, because the whole business is too big to just let the judges decide who is going to be representative of the Mr. Olympia and of the bodybuilding. So I think it will be a factor, the fact that he was accused of that horrible crime. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty, but is that really how things work? I don't think so. Anyways, there is a petition that you can sign, which is basically about letting Sean competing at the Mr. Olympia. So you can sign it, I signed it, you should do it as well. And if politics had nothing to do with the judging, based on this photo right here, I don't know if he would win it, even if he showed up conditioned and if he even showed up, and if politics had nothing to do with it, because he doesn't look that impressive right now. I think Brandon Curry looks way more impressive. So let's check him out actually. Brandon Curry is not hiding anything away. And look at him. Look at his arm and compare it to Sean Roden. I mean the chest and everything. He just looks much more impressive, much fuller, much rounder, much bigger, much more muscular, much more complete. Yeah, the only thing is legs, but he did improve him a little this year, and the Arnold didn't look that bad. So with his super dominant upper body, I think he would be the winner of 2019 Mr. Olympia, either him or Rolly. I don't think Sean Roden can actually challenge them, even if he shows up, even if politics didn't interfere with the judging criteria. I still think that Sean is not really a true threat to the Mr. Olympia title based on his previous photo that I just showed you. But Brandon Curry, on the other hand, look at him. As I said already before, he's not hiding anything away, and you can see that he looks freaking impressive. He's so full, he's so round, he's so massive, and he looks like he already peaked. He looks like he already peaked, literally. I mean, how much better can he get? And if he gets much drier and much fuller than this, what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see like the best bodybuilder ever? But yeah, his legs are not gonna get much better from this point. So because of that, you know, that's a big thing. He's not complete. He's not perfect. But we will probably see the most complete upper body that we have seen in a long time. And I say the most complete because you must consider his stomach. Phil Heath had stomach issues. Jay Cutler had very beautiful stomach lines, but he always had a little bit of distension. Then you had the Ronnie Coleman with horrible stomach. And now we have Brandon Curry, who is way more massive than 2008 version of Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson in 2008 had a very small waist, but he was overall much smaller than Brandon. This year we're gonna see Brandon with humongous arms, thighs and tries both, very big and round shoulders, huge chest, insanely developed back, and tight waist and very beautifully shaped and symmetrical abs. If he only had a little bit better legs, he would be one of the best bodybuilders of all time, but his upper body is definitely one of the greatest of all time, and I cannot wait to see him at the Mr. Olympia. We also have another gigantic black dude, and his name is Akim Williams. He is big as a house, and he is very complete. He has very big legs, big arms, chest, back, everything is there, but he is rarely conditioned. And I personally am not a big fan of Akim because he is not always in great shape. And if he came completely peeled, dry, completely dry, he would make a big damage to Mr. Olympia because look at him. He's an absolute beast. But in the meantime, we have classy guys who are not much of beasts, but they are very aesthetic. And here you have Arash Ragbar. He took 5th place last year, but in 2016 he was 2nd place. Many people thought that he can win 2017 Mr. Olympia, although it didn't happen. Guys with much more talent showed up, and he fell down with his placings a little, but he has an amazing personality. I love listening to him when he speaks. He pretty much says the things they already know, but I just enjoy listening to him. And I'm really glad to see him working on his abs, because I think his abs are one of his weaknesses. He has very good, very classic physique, but some things are not perfect. For example, his torso is a little bit too long, his legs should be a little bit bigger, and as you can see right here, his abs should be a little bit better, the striations, the separation should be a little bit deeper, and his stomach seems a little bit bloated. He is not exactly known for having the smallest waist on that stage, especially compared to guys like Breon Ansley or Chris Bumstead, Henry Pierre Ano. You have also George Peterson, who doesn't have the smallest waist, but his muscular development is another level, so that's why he can beat Arash. So what I don't like about Arash's physique is his legs, his quads particularly, also I'd say his hamstrings, and his back and his stomach. So that's something that he should work on, but I don't think he can actually make too big of improvements. He's a bit older guy, he's like 36 now or something like that. Sure, he can make improvements, I believe so, but I don't think he can do that right now, since we are 5 weeks out of Mr. Olympia. But Arash, just like Brandon, is not hiding anything away, and he looks great. I think he will be in top 6 this year, but to crack the top 3 or something like that, I don't really see that happening. And who do I have as a winner this year? Of course, you must know that already, and that would be Chris Bumstead. Because look at his physique, look at his front lat spread. This is perfection. This is super classic. Yeah, he has some weaknesses, but his imperfections are actually making him perfect. He separates from the crowd. He is different. But the things that actually separate him from the crowd the most are his super broad shoulders, very big and popping lats, very overall classic physique. All that combined with very small waist, it just creates very good structure and very good classical physique. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him at the Mr. Olympia stage and seeing him win the title. And so we come to the most important news of this video, and that is Cedric McMillan. And you guys knew that he was not qualified for the Mr. Olympia. He didn't have enough points. But when he was guest posing a couple of days ago in Tokyo in Japan, he said to the audience something like, "Wish me luck at the Mr. Olympia." So it seemed like he didn't even know that he's not qualified. And right now, he was invited. He got a special invite to Mr. Olympia. The reason why he got it is because he served the country as a military man. I think that reason is a bit of a BS, because what has American military to do with bodybuilding? I don't think it has to do much. I think the reason why they invited him is because they need somebody to make this Olympia eventful. And Cedric, based on this look right here, looks like somebody who can win the Mr. Olympia. If you want to make sure of this information, you can go to NPC News Online official website or their Instagram account, as you can see right here, and you can see what they wrote. So they say, official IFBB Professional League announcement. Staff Sergeant Cedric McMillan, a career member of United States Army, has received a special invitation to compete for the title of 2019 Mr. Olympia next month in Las Vegas. If you want to read the whole thing, you can read it, you can read the whole text. I'm not going to read it to you because it's a little bit too long, I would bore you for sure. And I want to talk about Cedric McMillan and his chances of actually winning 2019 Mr. Olympia. So this video right here is from 2016 Arnold Classic. One of his best shapes ever. I think this was his best ever. Muscle maturity, muscle density combined with great conditioning. He was a little bit fuller 2012 New York Pro, but he wasn't as matured at the time and as conditioned. I think this right here is his best conditioning ever. He almost beat Kai Green. Some people thought that he was better. He wasn't in my opinion, but he looked very, very good. This year he competed at the Arnold Classic, wasn't conditioned, took only 4th place. But he beat Rolly Winkler, who many of you consider one of the favorites to win it. Of course, Rolly was off, he was way off. Rolly will be on at the Mr. Olympia, I have no doubts. I think he will be perfectly shredded. But this year, at the Arnold Classic Australia, Cedric, of course, he was able to beat Rolly once again, as well as he was able at the Ohio, but he wasn't able to beat William Bonek. And William Bonek wasn't able to beat Brandon Curry. So, if Dexter comes a little bit off, like he was at the Arnold Classic Australia, which wasn't bad shape, but it wasn't perfectly peeled, he will not be able to beat William or Brandon, and probably not even Rolly. But, if he comes like this, or a little bit sharper than this, he has everything to win the Mr. Olympia. Come on guys, what does he lack? I don't see any weaknesses on his physique, pretty much. It's only conditioning, it's only shape. If he just comes conditioned, he has back, he has legs, he has insane glutes, very big arms, and on top of that all, very classic physique. Very small waist, combined with very broad shoulders and big legs and everything. And I just love his physique, everybody loves his physique. He's tall, he's classic, he is what we are looking for today. So Cedric, come peeled and win the thing. Anyways guys, tell me what you think about Cedric. Do you think he deserves this invitation? Why didn't guys like Big Ramy deserve it, for example? Or Sean Roden was actually banned? What do you think about that? Do you think he deserved it? Do you think he can win it? What do you think about Sean Roden? Do you think he will actually come somehow? Do you think he will be unbanned? And what do you think about this new show? Is it gonna be bigger than Mr. Olympia? Whatever you think about whatever part of this video, tell me down below in the comment section. Also, if you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe. All the best guys. Bye bye.